Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to SFR for round number 9 of the SFR Championship. This is at the Imola Grand Prix in Italy for the second time in a row. We are at the Italian Grand Prix. Monza was the last round, and alongside me tonight is Owen Mansell. Mate, how are you doing?
Yep, all good, mate. We're back again. We are Imola, of course. Marco dominance at the moment. I think he's won the last 2 races. Last week's standings ain't been updated just yet, but I'm pretty sure he did win last week. Ever since he joined the league, he's been dominating. See if you can take a 3rd win tonight.
Yeah, indeed. Marco has been on form recently. Had a lot of competition as well last week at Monza, but managed it really well. He defended from both Red Bulls, and Red Bulls got themselves in a bit of a pickle when they were stuck behind traffic, and therefore Marco was able to pull away. And both Red Bulls did finish in P2 and P3. We spoke to Harry Kane, and we spoke to Bear Remy too. It was Bear Remy's first podium of the season finally, after finishing in 4th place a couple of times, but 1 step closer now to P3. And also, if you remember last season, that Bear Remy took the victory after Harry Kane pulled alongside and let him go, and that could have been costly for the championship, but in the end it didn't matter because Harry Kane did win. There's a Williams who stopped out on the track on his outlap there, not quite sure.
Sniffy.
It looks like he's gone for a spin by the looks of it, but I'm going to take you through a lap around Imola. I want to go back on board with Langford. I've seen he was the first man out on the circuit. Now I've lost him. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Before he crosses the line, I can't even find his name. There he is, P14. So here he is coming through the final 2 corners. Goes a bit deep, but you're looking for the final corner now as we make our way towards the finish line. DRS is enabled there as he takes a different line. Remember, we used to run the old chicane here towards those final 2 corners. And here we are then on board the straight. DRS wide open. Speed reaching about 325 km/h as we hit the brakes into turn 2, 3 and 4, which can be very tricky. They use a bit of curve there to rotate the car and get a good exit. So we make our way now towards the final chicane, flicking in after the 50-metre pole. Carrying a lot of speed at the exit of turn 6 there. Wasn't quite hooked up, so May lost a bit of time in the first sector. As you can see, going down into turn 7, using the throttle to rotate the car. A bit of overtake at the exit to boost his way along as we make our way now towards the top of Piratella, and also a fast speed corner. Very tricky here as you can easily run out wide and pick up a validation or a warning in the race. Ackerman are rolling downhill, then immediately back uphill again as it's very difficult to exit. We've seen a few people spin there yesterday. Now coming towards the highest part of the circuit there as we make our way now towards the Variante Al Chicane. We see that Yuki Tsunoda and Charles Leclerc crashed there back in 21 and in 2022 when Leclerc was winning the podium, hunting down Verstappen. He spun the car, gave the podium towards Lando Norris. Here we are coming towards the final 2 corners, breaking the 50-metre board, hooking up on nice in the first reverse, into second reverse to go, keeping it nice and tidy. And we saw Carlos Sainz crash there as well back in 2022. Here comes Langfeld as he crosses the line now. It's a 15.3 for him as the Sauber Div 2 driver goes towards the top.
And Yarham goes in between them with the 15.2, and then Pocket Valley guy. Oh wow, that is a lap time. 14.0, 1.2 seconds quicker than anyone else at the moment. So yeah, great banker lap time then from Valley guy.
I believe we've already demolished the lap time from Div 2 as well. And Owen, you sound a bit down, mate. You alright?
I'm alright, mate. I'm all good here. Just trying to get over my frustration a little bit after yesterday. But yeah, no, I'm all good. Yeah, so we got Marco coming up next, the dominating driver at the moment, and yeah, I need unvalidated final last lap. I mean, what would it have been? It would have been 14.093, so that would have put him in second.
But have you noticed?
As well.
Yeah, medium compound tyres are 14.0. Are you mad? That's would have been an incredible lap time, and he would have put him into P2, depending on how much further away is in terms of 10. The exact lap time was, whether it be Pocket Valley guy or not. Here's Harry Kane threading the needle through Ackerman and O'Reilly as we make our way now towards the Variante Al Chicane. The standings haven't been updated, by the way, so we can't really get a tell to what the championship standings are, but I presume Harry Kane did move ahead of Ramovac. He's currently second in the championship and a few points behind, or maybe in the championship lead, seeing that Laser did not get a good race last week at the Monza Grand Prix. Here comes Harry Kane towards the second Ramovac, so takes too much curb on the entry there. the car wandering, complaining as he makes his way towards the line. It's a 14.9 for him, so a second down. And there's his teammate right behind him too, giving him a nice tow. I think he just crossed the line at the same time, really, didn't he, with Hurricane? Yeah, he did, up to P4.
Yeah, so I'm guessing some slipstream with the 2 Red Bulls there. Or is it? Yes, 2 Red Bulls. Ramovaj about to start his lap. He has invalidated. So one thing that we've seen so far this week is a lot of penalties, of invalidation lap times. We do believe there is a little bit of a glitch with this track. I think it's on turn number, I'm trying to count that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The exit of turn 8.
Piratella.
For some reason, yes, you can get a warning without going fully over the white lines. The 4 wheels going over the white lines, that is. So you can get an a warning or invalidation for basically still having 2 wheels over the white line, just where I'm about to come in now, and it just can actually invalidate from going over on that curb. And then again, where Ramovaj coming up to as well, this chicane is very difficult to also get a very easy to get a warning as well, as it completely cuts the chicane there. But yeah, there's a lot of places where you can invalidate and get a lot of warnings today. Like I said, today. So again, I'm expecting some penalties coming today as well. Obviously, I think it was Emils who got about 23 seconds worth of penalties. Obviously, he got a 10-second penalty in the pit lane as well. That don't help at all. But yeah, invalidations and warnings is going to be probably a main topic here today, as Laser also now invalidates as well on that final corner. The final corner is going to be difficult as well, and that would have been 14.7, which that would have put him actually in P3, so that's again quite a good banker lap from him there.
Bear Remy just popped himself up into P2. He's done 3 laps on the set of soft compound tyres. But no Red Bull like to go along on the first set of soft compound tyres in the early stages of qualifying. Try and save a setup and ready for the race, just in case there is that potential late safety car, which is quite common around here because it's so easy to lose the car in many places. And I'm not surprised if anybody does. Jarko puts himself up into P5 after making a return at the Dutch GP. And also talk about Laser. He did invalidate at the Variante Alta. I did watch him, and he took the curb too much on the first part, missed the second part, and therefore ran off the track. He did invalidate again, looks like. So Laser unfortunately has invalidated this the next lap, because you said he went wide.
Also, yeah, Ramovaj also again went wide. I can't remember. I think the first or second chicane on his lap. So again, he will also invalidate. So already we're talking point here is a lot of invalidation on their lap times. So yeah, that's going to be one of the main topics here today.
It is indeed. Yarham filling in for Safakis, unfortunately couldn't make it. Did have internet connection issues, and he was running in a good place until he lagged out. And I want to talk about Ramovaj too, because he invalidated in a strange place. He validated actually on the entry towards turn 8, not the exit. So that's why he invalidated there.
I'm trying to find someone who's actually on a lap, but at the moment I'm just keep on going to people who is invalidating at the moment. Rogue Smithy, there we go. I found someone. He's coming up to the final chicane. It said he is improving, but not by much. He's coming up to the final 2 corners now. Currently on a 1 minute 15.047. See if he can get into the 1 minute 14s or not. This will be the actual 6th person to get into 1 minute 14. They should do. And no, just over. He does improve, but not by much. So he currently stays in P6 at the moment.
And I think Locke is making a return too. He has been ill, has the man from Manchester. Here he is out of the final corner. We're about to watch a lap of Glock. What can he do? Does he have the form like he's had in the first part of the season? He was teammates with Laser, of course. We're seeing some excellent teamwork at the Bahrain and at the Hungarian Grand Prix too. He missed out on the podium due to being on the wrong tyres towards the last second. Oh, messes up turn 2 and turn 3. And unfortunately, Glock has ruined that lap time. Just went in there a bit too hot, and he missed the corner. messed up his lap time. I'm about to say invalidated, but he hasn't, because he did go out wide. Klusler is 1/10 up in the first sector. Actually, Klusler was the only driver who finished the race, did not get a single penalty. So can he keep it up? That was a fantastic, consistent drive from Klusler, because Burmeister was the latest to pick up a penalty, and it was the only one left, his Dutch fellow compatriot of Klusler. He is a 10th up. What more time can he find his middle sector? A few more hundreds in the middle sector, 10th and a half. So here he is then, ragging the steering wheel around. Looks like the car is sticking to the ground there, not lose the back end towards the very end out chicane, which is catch a lot of people are, whether he's taking a curve too much or in terms of a validation. Misses Ravazza 1 as he goes through Ravazza 2 now into 4th gear, picks up the throttle of the exit, then using the overtake he has left in that Sauber as he makes his way now towards the line. What's it going to be for the Dutchman? He stays in P8, but he does improve his lap time.
Is about to go into the 1:13. It's the first driver. Is he? No, he really messed up his final sector. Then he was over by a 10th in the sector 2, and I think he completely lost it on the second to last corner. He just lost the back end on entrance, which cost him all that time. So not able to improve. He could have got into the 1:13 there.
And also, Melnus now coming towards Ravazza 1 and Ravazza 2. Melnus has always gone undercover in these races. He's been very consistent in terms of scoring decent points for RB. Here he is then, as he makes his way now towards the finish line. He's going to get in the 14s. He does, only just. It's P5 for him with a 14.9. But I'm expecting great things at Red Bull, because they've done multiple laps on a set of soft compact tyres. They don't show their hand until later stages of qualifying. There's a McLaren or Pocket Valley guy who's backed up because he did complete his lap. There's his teammate right behind of Laser coming through Acquaminaroli now. What can he do? Laser has been struggling in qualifying recently, didn't have a good run at the Monza Grand Prix. It's a 49.3. Obviously we can't compare it because he did not set his previous best lap time, as he didn't validate at that particular corner where we just exited. So here he is then, he's quite low on the battery there. He's a Laser Lord, so he might run out a bit coming onto the straight as we make our way now towards Ravazza 1 and Ravazza 2, just drifting there because the rear braking and the engine braking helping rotating the car as he makes his way now towards the finish line. I think it's going to be a decent lap so far, and it is. He goes up into P3, 4/10 ahead of Norris. There is big gaps in the field there, but I'm expecting all to close up once they complete, as Norris has just flirted with the track limits of the exit of Peratella, but just got away with it. But I dare say if it was the 23 module, he would have invalidated. But talk about Ramavage, what did you see about him?
I thought he invalidated again on the final corner, but he didn't. He was starting another lap, so he's all right for now. He's actually on the lap now, I do believe. See, no, he invalidates again. This is not a great qualifying session so far from Ramavage. See if Marco can complete a lap time now. He's just started his lap now. Again, he's also been struggling to try and set a lap time from all the invalidations. So he's coming through the second chicane at the moment. Sector 1 will be a 23.8. I don't know how competitive that is. We don't have a proper timesheet like the F1 commentators do, which would have been helpful for us, especially when people haven't set their first lap time yet. But yeah, Marco currently down in P20. At the moment, it does seem like a pretty competitive lap. Very clean so far. Doesn't go too wide on that exit. Some people have been invalidating there as well. Coming up to this chicane as well. Make sure he doesn't go too wide. And he's again just in track limits. So he nearly went over there. Luckily, the game let him off with that. And then it just needs to keep it clean. And then not go too wide on this exit, which he finally doesn't. He's going to finally set a lap time. But what is it going to be? It's going to be a 1:14.02.
I was expecting more though from Marco. Sorry, you liked that, so I thought you liked a bit, so I thought you stopped talking there. But I was expecting more things from Marco, because if you remember, he was on the medium compound tyres and the time said 14.0. I'm not quite sure if he cut the track a little bit to try and get back towards the line. I'm not quite sure if he did that or not, just to tease us a bit. But 14.0 is him and Pocket Valley Guy. These two made an appearance back at the Dutch GP. Pocket Valley Guy sustained a puncture, unfortunately. And we also haven't talked about one more driver, the new driver, OWR Gort, he's in P16 so far, but he will come across the line to go in P5. That's a decent lap time on his appearance here in Ferrari for SFR. It's a 14.7, so welcome the newcomer of Gort there. Let's see what he could do. His teammate Oliver is down in P19. Unfortunately, not set a lap time, as he did say in the podium interviews yesterday. Expect him to be at the back of the field. I think Smoke is usually in the Ferrari, but he has got demoted down into Division 2, and Smoke took the victory yesterday around here at Imola.
He is. I'll tell you what, Smoke is definitely sandbagging. He's won the last two now. So yeah, some sandbagging going on there with Smoke. But yeah, anyway, let's see all these guys now on a outlap. As you can see, everyone now preparing for their most important lap of the day.
Romavaj is in danger at the back of the field. I do remember him, though, in qualifying, that he started in last near towards the back. Imola, I just got a memory of him just making his way through up the field, and a safety car came at the wrong time.
It's going to be close. It's 2 minutes left. He should just have enough time to put new tyres on and come back out. It's going to be close though with Romavaj to get another lap in.
Nipper took there for Romavaj in P20, and also we've got Glock making his way down towards turn 2 as the main rivals make their way to the pit lane for their final flying laps here in qualifying. The timer is ticking down as we go through turn 2, turn 3 and turn 4. The back end of the car wanted to wander around as he applies the throttle there. Still gets a decent exit as we make our way now towards the front chicane, flicking in, carrying a lot of speed. Unbelievable amount of speed there. It's so quick. There's a Sauber right behind us. Glock is 4 tenths up, aiming to try and get inside the 14s or better to try and get towards the front. He's still got the pace as Glock, despite working so hard and injuring himself. He has got surgery as well, so hopefully he does get better, but he takes a lot of curve there. The back end of the car complained again as we make our way downhill towards Acra and Raleigh. Another fantastic corner. Arrives you at high speed, quick reactions too, to get out of the corner without losing the back end or invalidated. 5 tenths up in the middle sector there is Glock. Can he? But on the exit it was a bit sluggish, and now we're making our way towards the final 2 corners where it's very important. The tyres will be screaming hard at this stage as we make our way towards the braking zone. We're about to 1, a bit deep there, but still hooks it up very nicely, goes through 2 up into 4th gear as he was revving out in 3. And let's see, what is this lap time going to be from Glock? He puts himself inside the top 10. He goes into P5, 2 tenths behind his former teammate of Laser, who's a 10th down in the first sector as Gold has retired from the session. He did go out there relatively early in comparison to other people. So our main competitors, Marco has got 30 seconds left. I believe he's at the final 2 corners. Pocket Vanny guy has improved, but there's a car in the way. He goes off the track. That's an Alpine. Pocket Vanny guy does not invalidate his lap time. That could be crucial. He gets a decent tow off the back of the Alpine. The Alpine needs to get out of the way. Why isn't he? And I dare say that's a penalty coming his way. Lord Danny Boy needs to be paying attention. Pocket Vanny guy has been hindered a lot, but can he try and take pole still? Let's see what he's about to do. No.
Oh no. Romavaj, he's run out of time. Just right at the end, he's missed out.
Oh, that's a shame there for Romavaj. Harry Kane has also invalidated. He was 4 tenths up in the middle sector, but unfortunately a dismal qualifying again for the 2nd week in a row. He crashed out at the exit of Ascari last time out at the Monza Grand Prix, but still finished in 2nd place. Is this going to be another recovery drive? Beremi, I believe he started in 4th place, so once again, Beremi out-qualifies his more experienced teammate of Harry Kane, our championship contender, and he's ahead of him once again. So Laser, McLaren 2-3, decent qualifying for those two. Yarham, a decent qualifying for him in P6 there. He has invalidated, he's still pushing, but the lap time will not count. Marco will be starting on pole again. I think Beremi's just going up to P3. Yes, he has. The splits, both McLarens.
Yeah, so Noldus is also next across the line. He'll go up to P5 with the 14.5, and surprisingly, no one hasn't gotten to 1 minute 13 as Dragon does something epic, but he goes up to P5 as well. But yeah, I'm quite surprised, especially how the lap times are coming on. I was expecting someone to get into the 1 minute 13s here, but yeah, we haven't seen anything. Spray and Pray goes up to P13. Lord Danny Boy is up next, who actually made Pocket Valley guy to hold up a bit. He goes up to P10, and that is qualifying done. I don't think Valley guy is on a lap. No, he's not. So yeah, that's it.
I feel sorry for Pocket Van guy because he got hindered from Variant to Alta all the way to the checker flag, unfortunately for him. So he'll have the right to complain about that one. He could have been on pole, but second place is not too bad. Remember, Max Verstappen starting third in 2021. Imola got past his teammate and got past Lewis Hamilton down into turn two. A bit of a shove off the track there, but that's racing going side by side in a fast speed corner like that. But now qualifying is done and dusted. Once again, I will head off to the toilet. So all to you, Owen.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, so I've just had a look as well. Valet guy had some from wing damage, so maybe I don't know, maybe had some damage off from Lord Danny Boy. Not 100% sure, but yeah, surprised that no one got it to 1 minute 13 still, like I said. And then we'll get through the results. So pole position is Marco once again. See if he can take his third win of out of 3. Valley Guy in second, Beremy third, but Latham fourth, Dragon fifth, Nolda sixth, Block seventh, Joachim eighth, Gort in ninth, Lord Danny Boy 10th, Harry Kane 11th, Imaunes in 12th, Martin in 13th, Sprain Perry 14th, Smithy 15th, Cluster 16th, Oliver 17th, Langfeld 18th, Origlas 19th, and Ramavaj, the only person not to set a lap time, wasn't able to for one of those invalidations, will be starting in 20th place. And for the race, it's a bit cloudy. I'm not 100% sure if we're expecting rain or not. I haven't heard anything, but yeah, we'll wait and see as the race goes on. 32 laps around here, 50% race distance, as we always do in SFR. Don't think there is any sprints this season, like the previous seasons where you have had some sprint races, but there has been no announcement of sprint races this season. Safety car as well. With the safety cars again, it's what's the word? It is likely, especially how this division has been previously. We've had, I think, one safety car at least the last 5 races now, or something like that. But yeah, here we go. Formation lap has begun.
So we'll see what tyres the people have gone to, and the majority have opted for the medium compound tyres. And if you remember yesterday's race, that the mediums, despite going long on those hard compound tyres, the medium tyres weren't the best towards the end, interestingly, after doing about 10 laps. So maybe they're taking the pain right now on the medium compound tyres, then the durable compound tyres taking towards the end where they'll be the better tyres. That's why we're seeing this medium to hard strategy more commonly as well. Obviously, nobody on the soft compound tyres, because that's a rubbish race tyre, unless you want to gain as many places as you can and take the pain very early in the race. But as you can see, Beremy, both Red Bulls have gone for the hard compound tyres, interestingly, so they go for the alternate strategy. Will it work out for them in the end? Harry Kane looking to go for a long stint on those hard compound tyres. He is started down in 11th place as he validated at the Variante Al Chicane. So once again, it's a dismal qualifying for him. He did crash back in Ascari last week, and Beremy out-qualified him. Decent qualifying, by the way, for Beremy. He has really stepped up his form. And the last time Beremy and Laser started together, they crashed the Australian Grand Prix, put it in the wall. Laser still finished on the podium that day with Beremy in P4. Last thoughts before we get raced, Oliver. Owen.
Yeah, like you said, I think that was from a wheel spin from one of the two. I can't remember who it was that caused the incident. But yeah, medium hard strategy is a common strategy now for pretty much every single race. We would see alternative strategy if we did like 100% race distance. That would be nice to see. For the racing wise, probably commentators not too much, because that's a lot of talking. That's basically double the talking that we do now. But yeah, medium hards. Again, whoever's on a medium goes hards, whoever goes on hards onto the mediums. Just waiting for the last few guys to line up now. Ramabaj right at the back of the grid. Watch out for him as well. See how he can get on. But yeah, down to you, Jamie.
So all 20 drivers are lined up on the grid. Look but never stare, as Alex Jakes would say, as the 5 lights are about to go away. Dragon already gets a jump start already. And look at him making his way through the pack. Both McLarens get a decent start. Here comes Pocky Van Guy. Here comes Laser now. Will they make it 3 abreast going down into turn 2? Let's see what happens there. Marco tries to defend from Laser's contact. And Marco's in a spin. And he's collected there with Laser. I think Laser has lost his end plate. And he's down into Laser, last place as Marco. He's in neutral. He's stuck there. It's a McLaren 1-2. But unfortunately, I think Laser might have taken some end plate damage. He hasn't. Yarholm and Nordis are squabbling away for P5 and in P6 there. And here comes the Red Bull Hurricane now up to the inside. The RB has spun the car. He was on the brakes very early there. And unfortunately, just lost the rear in the car. The rear car locking up as it caught it by surprise. And now Glock is down into P17. Trying to defend from Kane. Ramavage from 20th to 12th already. Although he goes off the track. Here comes Rogue Smithy now taking advantage of Gort as we go down towards Akram and O'Reilly. That's a nice move up the inside, but Gort is trying to stick around the outside. Can't quite do it. There's a bit of a squirm there for Rogue Smithy, but the Ferrari driver remains in 11th place, or unless he goes down the inside, which I thought he was about to do, but might have tried to spook Smithy there, but he didn't. So Smithy's up into P10 and Ramavage 20th to 12th. But what carnage going down into turn 2 there. I think Marco just tapped the rear left tyre of Pocket Van Guy, and that's why he spun.
Yeah, he locked up as well. Yeah, he locked up on the braking, which obviously that didn't have less control over him, but Laser did it. Very lucky there. Obviously he made contact with the back of Marco, but he didn't get any front wing damage, which I thought I did see some front wing damage flying about, but no, Laser got away with that. So at the moment, there's a McLaren 1-2, so they're in a great position at the moment. They just need to try and pull away from Bear Remy. Valley Guy does seem like the quicker person than Laser, and then Laser normally comes back into the race at the end of the race.
I've got to interrupt because Nordis is struggling. Nordis is struggling a lot because I think he was the one that's got end plate damage. He's just lost 4 places there. Hurricane overtook by the straight. He went wide into 2 and 3, and now 4 cars, maybe 5 now, with Ramavage trying to go around the outside. That's a dangerous move, which it is. He oversteers off the track, and he almost invalidated 2 on the exit. Here comes Gort now, looking to reclaim P10 away, but Ramavage has the inside line unless the Ferrari tries to stick around the outside, which he doesn't do. And now Ramavage is now up to a lot there. He got caught out in Bahrain. He lost the victory after he spun in the final corner. You don't really see many spins there, but so far Pocket Van Guy is in the lead of this Grand Prix. The gap is 1.2 now between those two, and Bear Remy is on the back of the McLaren driver. Another fastest lap from Pocket Van Guy. He's definitely got the pace, and Harry Kane now takes away the fast lap of the Grand Prix.
And there we go. First penalty of the day, only lap 3, Glock with a 3-second time penalty. But like I said, we'll see a lot of them today, I expect.
Yeah, indeed. So he becomes the first one on lap 3.
Good scrap here with 4 drivers for P11. This is between
he spun.
Spray and Spun. That's unfortunate. There was 4-car battle there, with plus Oliver and Martin. Martin now obviously up front on this battle. So the grid now is starting to create a little bit of gaps between each other. We got obviously the top 3, and then got Yarham, Harry Kane, and Maunus. Yarham and Harry Kane, just them 2, and then Maunus, Lord Annie. It's quite a big battle, to be fair. Ramavage, Smithy, Gort, all in this battle at the moment for P4. This is now actually. So yeah, this battle is going to be quite interesting. Let's see how this turns out. But yeah. Laser now 1.3 over his teammate, so he won't get the DRS, but Bear Remy now will. Let's see if Bear Remy will. Well, it looks like he's going to be attacking Laser. Where is he going to go? Inside, outside? He's going to go or try and go around the outside of Laser. Laser will have the inside lane, but Laser doesn't really defend that and lets Bear Remy get past. So hard medium compound tyres. Laser does seem to be struggling more on the medium compound tyres compared to Bear Remy's hard compound tyres.
I thought the papaya rules would be introduced, but Pocket Van Guy is pulling it away. I thought he would allow Laser DRS to try and keep the Red Bull behind him, but unfortunately for Laser, he's got a Red Bull in between himself and his teammate now, so it was not a 1-2 no more. Laser dropped back to P3. They're trying to close that gap down under a second. I noticed Bear Remy and Laser are struggling on the track. They made mistakes, especially down at the first Lesmo, not Lesmo either, that's Monza. What's the called? I've said it loads of times. I actually don't know. Rivazza, there we go. Rivazza 1 and 2. I've always said it. I know the corners, but it's so mixed up. Joachim picks himself up, A3 Tabata. He got overtaken by Hurricane on the straight as well. So Hurricane started from 11th. It's up into P4 now. And I saw Lord Danny Boy get overtaken by Smithy. It looks like he had an excursion off the track because he had gravel on his tyres there. So that's why we saw him lose a place towards Smithy. I think Smithy overtook him on the straight and Lord Danny Boy just outbroke himself. He's under pressure now from a Ramavage right behind, but so far Pocky Vanagai has got a decent lead. He's keeping out the 1 second threat of DRS. Can he keep it up though? It can be quite tricky as Ramavage now puts himself up into P8. Now P7, it's a double overtake, and here comes Danny Boy up the inside trying to reclaim the position he lost towards Smithy, and this time he keeps it on the track. He puts himself back into P8. He lost the place but gained it immediately, but here comes Smithy. There's no way, which I thought he wouldn't do anyway because I thought he was smarter than that, which he is, and he gets a penalty, so he's not really smart about that one, but up into, or stays at P9.
Yeah, Ramavage on a mission at the moment. He's now up to P7, but the gap is now 1.6 between himself and Maunus, so he's got to try and catch up to Maunus as quickly as possible. Like I said, DRS is very powerful. The gap is around about 7/10 between himself and Lord Danny Boy, so the gap is going up, so unless he can get over a second before the DRS detection point, he should be okay, but going up to about 9/10 now. Yeah, Ramavage definitely looking quick here today.
I think Pocket Vanagai should have held back just a little bit to give Laser the DRS, and therefore both McLarens will have DRS because we know McLaren have worked really well against each other, with each other. Back in Hungary, back at the Bahrain Grand Prix, and I think another example is back at the Dutch GP, where I think Pocket Vanagai was relieved as Laser let it go, but Laser is still hanging on to the back of the Red Bull there, so he's dragging him along, and Behrem is trying to do everything he can as Ramavage gets past his teammate again. No, it's Smithy this time getting past Lord Danny Boy, taking 8th place away and leaving Danny Boy in the clutches of Gorn right behind. Oliver is up into P11 ahead of Klusler, and Martin's there too. So Klusler and Martin are the Div 2 drivers, same with Joachim as well. Joachim's running a decent race so far in P5, although he does have a 3-second time penalty. Once again, guess who's there again? It's Maunus. He's always there, but we barely mention him. He's always running inside the top 10. He's a regular point scorer. He's done a fantastic job so far, I've got to mention. He's currently in P6 so far, and there's Ramavage right behind him too. So he's run a decent race. He's actually P5 in the championship, is Maunus too. So always consistently in the points as the RB driver. Don't want to curse him as Lord Danny Boy has gone for a spin at the exit of Acromenarani. That's before the corner too, so that's a very weird spin there. A spray and play. Oh, Marco has got a 3-second time penalty, but he's down in P15. Wow. Spray and pray, sorry, I messed up his name at the Hungarian Grand Prix as well. He was actually on course for a podium, wasn't he? Until he picked himself up a penalty and dropped himself out of the podium paying positions.
Yeah, we just, like I said, we just saw 3 people pick up a penalty at the same time: Marco, Maunus, and someone else. But yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 in lap 7. But yeah, let's see how these guys do with penalty wise. Ramavage is right behind Maunus, so he's really caught up to Maunus now. But yeah, like you said, he's been very consistent this season so far. That's very important for league racing, of course. Probably consistency is more important. Oh, now Raham has lost a car as well, which gives all these 3 guys, both Williams and Maunus, the position. But yeah, Maunus, like I said, league racing is very, very important for consistency. It's probably more important than winning and then, well, winning the first race and then you come into the second race and you're down in P16, 17, 18 because you had a spin or something. So, but that's not Maunus. He hasn't been like this season so far. Johan
has picked up a penalty too. And also, Glock says internet cut out GG, but he's rejoined by the sessions. It was nice to see. Look at Hurricane. He's got such a struggle in qualifying, which is very interesting now. And now here he is putting the pressure on Laser. Can Hurricane be the one? And McLaren occupying the top 4 like it is in F1, although Red Bull are dropping away. Here comes Ramavage now, and here comes Smithy. He puts himself up into P6. He did the exact same thing on Lord Danny Boy too. So Williams are running a decent race in P5 and P6 there, and looking to score some decent points. They were close together, I think, back at the Devonish chicane when he touched the outside grass there. So he's another victim to become a spinner in this race, and now he's lost a place towards Jarham, and through goes Melrose as well. Here comes Marco now, trying to make a recovery recovery drive after spinning out of turn 2, making contact with Pocket Paddock guy. My thing has been glitched because Glock rejoined back the session, and now he's put himself into P14. What I mean when my thing is glitched, I don't like to scroll through like this. I like to go on board with the spectators menu and go through the drivers like that because it makes it more professional, really. But Remy is in the DRS range of Pocket Valid guy, so he's found some pace, but although he does not have the DRS on this straight, so he didn't get it at the detection point, it was afterwards, so not in all. Smithy's retired. Is that
Smithy's
near the pit
gone.
lane?
It is. Has he completely lost it? Yeah, he has. I think he's
Oh, that's
just a lot. I think he's done what I've done. He's just gone too wide, and he's spun the car and he's obviously hit the wall too heavily with that. So that's unlucky there for Smithy. He was having a good race, obviously, with his teammate with Ramabaj, just basically following him through, which was a great strategy from Smithy. But yeah, and that's another race with 0 points again for Smithy, unfortunately.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news for Oliver, but I did catch him doing something maybe illegal. I think he was going to pit and then changed his mind at the very last second and dived out of it whilst crossing a white line there. It's not quite sure if that's legal or not, but we'll see in the steward's room. But I do remember last season somebody crashed the exact same place there. I'm not quite sure who it was. I don't want to point the finger at names or anybody because I don't want to obviously put him to shame, but yeah, somebody did crash there, or unless I'm thinking about another league, but it's just reminiscent the way he crashed in the same place as the other person. I think I'm thinking about a different league. I do know who it is now. It's from a different person. Actually, funnily enough, the person that did it joined the commentary box yesterday and played that music, and it was him. So yeah, it was him. His name is Bosch Evans, by the way. As the main guys pit into Pocket Valley guy on to the hard compound tyres. Bear Remy and Harry Kane, like in Monza, if you remember, the early safety car came out whilst on the hard compound tyre. They're switching, and it's a double stack too. If you remember as well, that Bear Remy stayed out to give his teammates the pit stop to avoid the double stack.
That's interesting. Bear Remy's going to have to stop again. He's gone on to another new set of hard compound tyres. So he's going to have to pit again, which now I'm expecting he will be going as long as he can. Maybe there is no late safety cars. He's going to probably have to pit for soft compound tyres and to see what damage he can not do in a way. But yeah, that's Bear Remy. Obviously, I don't think at this stage medium can get to the end. Obviously, Harry Kane's coming on the medium tyres. I mean, if they can, they're going to be struggling with tyre wear, 100%.
Well, they were struggling.
To the hard compound tyres.
They were struggling on 13 and 14 lap old mediums, so I doubt these mediums could get towards the end. They were a bad tyre yesterday as well. So Harry Kane, like it was in Monza, he had to do the hard to medium, but luckily there was a safety car towards the middle stint of the race, so he was able to put on a brand new set of mediums, join the rest of the pack in sync, and he wasn't an outlier no more. But the outlier is Bear Remy, because those hards can go towards the end, yes, but he's done a Red Bull strategy back in Monza where Perez and Verstappen did hard, medium, and that's what Bear Remy's got to do now, unless he goes hard, soft, depending if he's got another set of soft compound tyres. But yes, Bear Remy has got to do a two-stop strategy, because the rule is in racing, unless of course it's wet. If it does become wet to dry, that rule doesn't apply because you have used the inter or the wet compound tyres, like it was in Silverstone, where they could go whatever tyres they wanted to. Nicholas Latifi crashing there as well in 2021. I'm not quite sure if it was under a safety car, but something did happen under a safety car and somebody crashed. I think it was George Russell back in 2020 where he dropped the back end of the car. He was running in 10th place, and Raikkonen saw the crash in front of him. Funnily enough, the year later, Raikkonen saw the crash happen again down at turn 2 because he was behind Bottas. For some reason, being overtaken by Williams was embarrassing enough, but Russell caused the accident down at turn 2, smashed into the back of Bottas on the side of him, caused a red flag, I think, because Hamilton also had a moment down there at turn 7 where he went on the wet patches and he broke his wing. Then all of a sudden, it looks like he was about to be out of this race until Bottas and Russell crashed, brought it back into play, and finished in second place with Verstappen winning and Lando Norris on the podium that day. Lando Norris always seems to run strong at the Imola Grand Prix. Even picked up a podium back in 2022 when the McLaren car wasn't as great back then either, because it was a midfield car and also running the back most of the times or in the midfield. And he also picked up a podium in second place as well, during this season, just finishing behind Verstappen by about 5 tenths. He was hunting Max Verstappen down, and that's when we saw glimpses of the McLaren's true pace. And looks like McLaren now got the upper hand on Red Bull in terms of the Constructors' Championship. Driver-wise, if Lando and Oscar keep on fighting, then we could see that Max Verstappen win the Drivers' Championship. Yeah. I dare say McLaren will win the Constructors for sure, but in terms of the drivers, I still think Verstappen's going to win it.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, in terms of Constructors-wise, I think it is McLaren's Constructors to lose. Unfortunately, Red Bull's lineup is just not strong. I know Verstappen's a very strong driver. Their second driver, Sergio Perez, mixed feelings, but I think during the mid-season break they should have got rid of him. They should have replaced him. They should have gave Ricciardo a second chance, in my opinion. Just because Perez is...
I'm sorry, Owen. I'm sorry, Owen. I've got to disagree with you. I don't want to say Ricciardo.
Sonoda, I don't know.
Lawson or Sonoda, I dare say Ricciardo's had his time. Judging by the performances, I dare say Sonoda or Lawson. I feel so sorry for the guy because he deserves an F1 seat as Liam Lawson, but he just can't get it because of the politics, money or sponsors. Liam Lawson definitely deserves that second seat in Red Bull or RB, but it's just the way F1 runs these days. Sometimes the good drivers can't get it.
Yeah, I don't think Ricciardo has, or has he? I don't think he's got a seat for next season yet. I think that's still to be confirmed. So with that, I think Lawson will definitely be taking his seat the way it's going. Because like you said, Ricciardo's results compared to Sonoda, in a way, is a bit surprising. I think ever since he joined McLaren, he's just gone very downhill. Unfortunately, he's a very nice guy. I know he is, but
have you met him?
Unfortunately, I haven't met him. No, but I know he's a nice guy. He's a nice person. He tries and keeps everyone in a happy state in a way. But on the racetrack, ever since he joined McLaren, it's just not been great at all. Obviously, he left McLaren. He's been at McLaren 2 years. 2 years were probably the worst 2 years of his life. And then obviously he came back to the Red Bull family, and again, it's just carrying on. Really, he hasn't been amazing compared to Sonoda. Sonoda's been very, very good since Gasly left the team, to be fair. But yeah, safety car is coming to the pit lane, and this race is about to get back underway.
Spent 2 years at Renault. It wasn't too bad in 2020 because he did pick up 2 podiums in Hockenheim, and also where was the other one? I can't actually remember now, but it was definitely 2 podiums that season because he did a fantastic job. Well, also I think of that.
Maybe?
No. We didn't have Baku back in 2020 because of the COVID season, but there was definitely 2 podiums. It's just slipping out of my mind. But here we are, Joachim at the final corner. These two, remember, on the old hard compound tyres they started on, so that's why they're at the top of the field. But here we get racing once again. Pocket Valley guy immediately putting pressure on Oliver as we go down to turn 2. You got to be very careful the way you adapt to people on older tyres. And here comes Oliver for fancy for the lead of this race, going down into turn 2. How hard are these two going to fight? Joachim remains in P1. He spins, and Laser picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. Here comes Pocket Valley guy now. Will he dare go side by side? No, he's too wise to it. But Laser did pick up a 3-second time penalty as Joachim spun. He's down into 17th place, and not much changes further on down the field too. Kane will be looking to try and take advantage on those medium compound tyres. He has to now. Got really nothing to lose because we know he's got to make another pit stop because those mediums will not last. Same with his teammate in P3. Hard medium strategy. But Oliver gets a poor exit out of Piratella. Pocket Valley guy has to lift off there to try and avoid a collision. He's playing the long patient game. He knows he can't afford to make contact. I think Kane Laser's dropped backwards into P5. Here comes Pocket Valley guy now, side by side with Oliver. He takes the lead of this race, and now he's going to pull away from the Ferrari driver to leave the Red Bull in the dust.
Remy, Laser hit the back of Remy. I was on ball with Remy. He lost the back end weirdly. I believe Laser did make contact with him. Obviously, that's going to help Harry Kane to get through. So again, Red Bull trying to get some tactical moves done. They've all now got to try and get past Oliver. Remy already pretty much side by side with him, and he should get this move pretty much all done and dusted. Yes, he does. So that's now him up to P number 2. Who is it? Harry Kane again, also now all on the back of Oliver, who will need to try and get past him as soon as possible, because this is definitely interrupting his race. Oliver loses back end, goes a bit too wide, which then gives Harry Kane the chance to go round the outside of Oliver. McLaren right there as well, and good move there from Harry Kane around the outside of Oliver. Obviously, Oliver hasn't really got the grip. Lazen now side by side with Oliver. Oliver's really losing time here. Ramovaj will now try and take advantage of this. So all these guys up behind Oliver right now will be trying to get past him as soon as possible.
It's so... Oh, Ramovaj almost lost at the exit of Aquaman Holiday. Picked up the throttle way too early and had massive wheel spin. But it's so frustrating when you see someone on older tyres, because Oliver gets a penalty. But when somebody's in front of you, you want to get past them immediately because you know your rival is able to pull away. And now here comes Ramovaj going down into Revolta 2. Lawrence Stroll did a fantastic overtake around the outside in the wet conditions. But Oliver breaks later. Ramovaj does a switch back. Now he goes up the inside of the final corner and takes the place away. Do you know what? Oliver's fighting quite hard, especially on older tyres there. I said this yesterday with Joachim. You don't really want to fight too hard with people on older, newer tyres, and especially with the pace advantage. And here comes the RB on Melder now, looking to reclaim P6. He'll be running in P6 majority of this race. We go down towards turn 2, and Oliver stays in front there, causing a headache, being a massive obstacle in the way of the other drivers. But Melnos gets a decent exit. He's low on the battery as the RB driver. Would he dare go side by side? There's a contact there, but luckily not in the spin, because that could have ended in tatters there for Melnos. He would have got put in a split in a spin. Sorry, about to say something else there, but I don't think it would be appropriate for him. Jargon is on the soft compound tyres. He's fighting away with spray and pray. He makes a move around the outside of the Haasman, and there comes Marco. Can Marco now, with the helping hand of the safety car, try and make his way back into the field? The Haas goes off the track. He has got airplane damage. Marco puts himself back into P13 there, looking to try and get his third win of the season, or third win in a row. But it's very unlikely now, judging where he is, and also picking up that 3-second penalty. Beremy is just outside of the 1-second range. Pocket Valley's guy has got some pure pace. Oliver and Melners are scrapping away again, and here comes Martin now, who puts himself into P7. These two going wheel to wheels. Oliver is not giving up as we go down towards this first Ravazza, and Martin is now ahead. Oliver's going to be dropping down like a stone. Pocket Valley guy sets the fast up of the Grand Prix, looking for his first win of the season, and here comes Lourdes now on the back of the Ferrari driver. They both have DRS going down the straight. There's a spinner down there. I think it's probably Miyahum. As we go down towards turn 2, got big overspeed. They're bunched up. It's a double overtake, is it? That's a risky move. And Lourdes is in a spin because he tried to go down the inside of his own teammates, but unfortunately spun. That's a very optimistic move there.
I think with Lourdes, I think he knew he outbroke himself too late there, and yeah, I saw that coming as soon as he broke too late. That's unfortunate for Lourdes, but I think he knew that as soon as he broke too late, he was like, yeah, I've got nowhere to go here. I've got my teammate right there, and it's just unfortunate there for Lourdes. I think he knew that he broke too late there.
OWR Jargon has got airplane damage, unfortunately. He just pitted onto a brand new set of soft compound tyres. So I presume he started on the hard compound tyres and scored, picked up a 3-second penalty 2 in this Grand Prix. And Marco is right behind his teammate. These two worked together as well back in the Monza Grand Prix. I remember that Jargon let his teammate go. Will he do the same thing? Knowing that he's got an end plate for starters, but got better pace. Judging by the way that Aston Martin's going as well, you don't want to really hold up your teammate, especially when you know he's quicker. We know that Aston Martins don't really work well with each other after one of the Aston Martins got reported yesterday, as he did back at the Miami Grand Prix in qualifying. And here comes Lazen on the back of Harry Kane, but it's just too far away. Harry Kane is not really gaining, as Klusler is now overtaking Oliver. Here comes Lord Danny Boy. He puts himself up into P9. Now here comes the OWR driver of Jargon. Here comes Marco. That's a risky move. They're about to make contact. No, he had to take a lot of curb though into turn 2, compromised himself. And here comes Spray and Pray now looking to take advantage. That's a very risky move indeed. Aston Martin's not really working well with each other, as Marco has to stay behind for the time being. And now Ramovaj, who started down in 20th place, is up into P5, looking to try and score a podium. Johan picks up a 3-second penalty in this race as well. But Ramovaj, what a recovery drive. Struggled in qualifying, but he could be on course for a podium. We know that Harry Kane has got to pit again. We know Beremy has got to pit again for sure. That's a definite no-brainer about it, because it's hard. He's got to go in the soft or the medium towards the end of this Grand Prix. Lazy makes a mistake into the Valiant chicane. Here comes Ramovaj, gets a decent exit, pulls alongside and says, thank you very much. I'm taking 4th place away. Next target is Kane on the medium compound tyres.
Yeah, Ramovaj, like I said, he's looking very strong, and at the moment he's only around, I'm going to try and get it up if I can, he's only 5.7 seconds off the lead. So this win for him definitely on. He's obviously already pitted. He can go to the end of the race. Like I said, at the moment he is the quickest guy on track, I would say. He's right behind Harry Kane as well now. Laser's just been struggling pretty much this whole race. Obviously he's been out of trouble. He's still in the top 5 of course, but yeah, compared to these guys at the moment who's ahead of him, he's not been as strong as these guys. But obviously, like I said, Laser does seem to be stronger towards the end of the race than he does at the start.
Yeah, just like Lando Norris is usually, and Romanovich is right behind Kane. Those mini compound tyres, they're not really benefited to him, even though they're 8 laps old and they have driven a few laps behind the safety car. I expected him to be all over the back of his teammate and pocket by the guy. He's lost a lot of time. Has he? Yes, he has. That's why he's lost a lot of time. He's got end plate damage, unfortunately. I'm not quite sure where he picked it up. It could have been behind Oliver, but now that's why he's struggling in this Grand Prix. So both Red Bulls are compromised in terms of having to pit again, and if Kane makes another pit stop, because those medium compound tyres expectedly not going to go towards the end. If they do, they'll be screaming off the cliff there, especially with the lack of downforce he has. So they're both compromised in this race, and the championship could go towards McLaren. McLaren may be able, as we go side by side with Marco and Jargo, the 2 Aston Martin drivers in wheel-to-wheel combat towards the final corner. Actually, both of them will get end plate damage, Marco and Jargo too. It's a drag race going down towards turn 2. They both have the DRS, and Jargo stays in P10, so more frustrating there for Marco. So both Aston Martins, they're suffering with end plate damage on opposite sides of the car, as Marco is desperate to get past his teammate but can't quite do so.
Yeah, and still Ramovich still can't get past Harry Kane. Harry Kane is doing pretty much a good job, to be fair, with that end plate damage. And to be honest, I think he has to try and keep him behind as much as he can, just help out his teammate a little bit. Obviously we know that Bellamy is going to have to pitch again because he's done a hard, like you said, and that's mandatory to do 2 sets of different compound of tyres in the dry. But yeah, at the moment the gap's now gone up to 5.1 between him, Harry Kane and Remy. So Ramovich will need to get past Harry Kane as soon as possible. But yeah, at the moment Harry Kane is doing a good job of defending. Obviously the main overtakes have been down towards turn number 1. Yeah, now Ramovich does look closer than he was before on the previous lap to Harry Kane. Harry Kane will probably try and use up hit much as the DRS as possible. It's just not going to be enough. Ramovich inside, outside even, and gets that move done. Laser as well, also trying to make that move done as well, but he backs out of it, which is quite sensible to be fair. Trying to get the switch back as well on him, but that doesn't quite work, so Laser's going to have to stay behind Harry Kane for at least one more lap. Obviously, with Ramovich nearly loses the car there. With Ramovich being his championship rival, he will not want him to be pulling away at this stage of the race now, really.
Yeah, so if Ramovich now is cleared and relieved of Harry Kane, can he pull away in this twisty middle sector and try and pull that gap over 1 second? And therefore, Lays will have to do a lot of work to get past Kane and bring that gap down under a second as well. So Ramovich's overtake on Laser and Kane has worked beautifully. He's now free of that 1 second range of DRS. Can he chase after Remy? Although we know Remy has to pit again to go on the medium compound tyres. So I feel sorry for Red Bulls there. They went on the hard compound tyres, but an early safety car came out, which really put them in a costly place, as yellow flags in the torso. I think that's Joachim going for a spin there down in P19, and now Laser is all over the back of Harry Kane, looking to line up the Red Bull, get past him finally. He's lost a lot of time towards Ramovich, who sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix, and now Laser is ahead of his championship rival. There's a bit of contact on the straight as Kane goes off onto the grass there. Jark is pitted for a new wing. Joachim is spinning again at the exit of Piratella, I think that is, at the top of turn 8, and it's been a dismal race so far for Joachim after a decent qualifying in this race too. Martin's right behind Monas, so once again Monas holding 6th place as he's done majority of this Grand Prix, but Martin's right behind him. He does not have a 3-second time penalty, does Martin in the Mercedes, and Glock is overtaking Spray
I'll tell you what, Martin's having a good race so far. He's currently in P7. He's got 2 guys ahead of him. That's not really pulling away as much. That's got penalties. He's keeping with Maunus with obviously a penalty. Maunus is catching up to Harry Kane as well, with Harry Kane obviously with that front wing damage. So at the moment, Martin is maybe looking for a top 5 finisher for him today, which would be a great result for him.
Just saw 2 people pick up penalties. That was clue on there. Is that Yarham again.
again losing it.
I do remember in Australia where somebody was doing this. They were spinning a lot of times, and they caused an unnecessary safety.
Him to maybe retire unless, or I'm guessing no, he's not. It looks like he's going to carry on. Oh, there we go. Now he retires. But yeah, with that many spins in one lap, I'm expecting he's got massive rear wing damage. But yeah, like you said, it happened in the sense. I think it was maybe. No, I don't think it would be one of the Red Bulls. But yeah, I remember we had that same situation in Australia, which caused a safety car, but not here today, thankfully. As Nordus and Spray and Pray has also now come into the pits as well. Nordus, the second person who decided to stay out. He's now on 0 lap old medium tyres, so yeah, let's see what he can do from that. I'm not expecting much, especially all the front runners now. The mid pack is coming through whatever corner that is. Can't remember what it's called. But yeah, Martin now right behind Harry Kane.
So we've missed something here. Harry Kane has been pushed down into P6. Did he make a mistake somewhere?
Yes. Unless Malness has overtook him. Like I said, we know that he's got the damage. Martin is back in the right. Lord Danny Boy's right behind him as well. I didn't see him there. But yeah, Martin will be now the next person to get the overtake done on Harry Kane. Obviously, Harry Kane's tyres will not be as strong anymore. I think hard compound tyres are definitely better at this stage of the race as well.
Yes, and here comes Martin now on the back of the Red Bull driver. He does not have the DRS as Kane. He's vulnerable on the straight, although Martin is not really gaining as we go down towards turn 2. He can't make the move, not enough space to go to the inside of 2. It's funny because no one's made contact with Martin. That's the second race in a row that Martin's made contact with his teammates. Sonic Hawk yesterday, they both got put in a spin in turn 7. Both RBs fell to the back of the grid, and also down at turn 2. Martin picks himself up as 3-second penalty. Lord Danny Boy is all over the back of Martin as well. But yeah, Martin's made contact with 2 of his teammates today and yesterday. That was Nordus and that was Sonic Hawk. I don't think neither was his fault because Nordus did outbrake himself heavily.
Oh, Malness has gone.
Where?
Malness he's lost it. He's lost it. He's gone. I can't remember what turn that is, but I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. I think he's just lost the back end and tried to correct it. He corrected it, but then obviously the car went and decided to go spin in the opposite direction, and that's front wing damage there from Malness. Rare mistake there from him. I think he probably got rear wing damage as well by looking at the way his car is now handling.
Regular top 10 finisher is Mowers, but unfortunately that one mistake has really compromised him. He's outside the top 10, right behind his teammate 2 off clock. Here comes Martin then for the second time of asking. I think he will get past him this time, earlier in the straight as well. Here comes Lord Danny Boy. Lord Danny Boy is running a decent race so far. He's all over the back of the Mercedes driver as we go down towards turn 2. Lord Danny Boy has overtaken them both. He puts himself up into P2 now. Did miss the apex, goes wide through turn 3, but keeps on the track. And Danny Boy, who finished 6th place at Monza, is up into P5, looking so strong so far in this race as well. Lord Danny Boy was teammates with... Who was it? I just had him in my head from last season. They both struggled to get to the top 10 last season. Who was it? I actually don't remember, to be honest with you. My memory goes from there to here sometimes. But yeah, those 2 in the Ferrari last season really struggled to get into the top 10. But Danny Boy scoring top 10 finishes so far, currently in P5. Spray and Pray has retired from this Grand Prix. Spray and Pray, rotten luck for both Hasses. Yesterday, both Hasses retired from the race too. So it's not been a good day for Haas so far here in Imola. But I'm trying to remember who Danny Boy's teammate was from last season. It's a very familiar name. It's in my head. It's a faint picture. It's a vague picture in my head of who it could have been. It's just bugging me so far because it's someone obvious, and I really feel sorry for them as well. I think it was Zenum. How could I forget about him? It was Zenum. Both Ferraris struggled to get inside the top 10 last season, but here they are in Div 2. Zenum becoming a podium sitter for the first time in a very long time, and Danny Boy inside the top 5. There is... Who's that? That's a Hassler track, but he's retired in the pit lane.
Yes. Yeah, that's nothing. That's not Spray and Pray's fault. He's followed race director in SFR rules really. So yeah, just unfortunate. I don't think they've lost too much time, so they won't mind the half in the way, but they haven't really lost much time at all.
I don't know what Barham is trying to do, but he's running out of time now. He's got to make another pit stop because those tyres can go towards the end, but unfortunately he's got to make that mandatory one-stop rule.
Yeah,
not one-stop rule, sorry.
But if he stops, he's going to come probably where Clusser is at the moment, probably just behind Clusser, maybe even behind Malnes. So he's just trying to find a gap, because what you don't want to do is stop and then the safety car comes out straight away after, because that's just the worst feeling, especially how Bear Remy is at the moment. But Ramavaj about 4 seconds now to Bear Remy. He's not catching as much as I thought he might have done, especially his pace at the moment. It was about 5.3 about 5-6 laps ago when he did overtake Harry Kane, but he's not catching as quickly as I thought.
So this is something interesting. We know that Bear Remy's got to pit, but Danny Boy is 6/10 away, 5/10 away from Laser in terms of penalties. If Danny Boy has the pace to try and catch Laser, with Bear Remy dropping out too, he could be on course for his first podium of the season, let's all Danny Boy. Remember, he might pick up a qualifying ban next week because he held a Pocky Valley guy. If Pocky Valley guy bothered to report him, I'm not quite sure, because he's dominated this race so far, is the McLaren driver, but he's obviously obliged to report him, and if he does, then Danny Boy will get a qualifying ban. But does he have the pace to try and catch up towards Laser? Does he know he's on course for a podium? Does he know that Bear Remy's got to stop again? So Lord Danny Boy's got to push as hard as he can, try and get that gap under 3 seconds, and remember, do not pick up a 3-second penalty, which is easier said than done. There is 7 laps to go in this race. Bear Remy is expected to be in the pit lane soon. Can Danny Boy get his first podium of the season? Martin picks up a penalty too. He's currently right behind Kane.
Yeah, it was like 6 seconds for penalties up now. Oh, yeah, it's now 6 seconds worth of penalties for Martin now. It's a bit unfortunate there, but we've got 5 drivers currently with no penalties. Let's see if they can keep it that way.
This is good for Harry Kane. This is good for Lord Danny Boy, because he's dropping Harry Kane out of his DRS. And now, can he close the gap down towards Laser? He will not be bothered by Kane anymore.
Yeah, obviously with the Harry Kane, he's got that damage as well. These tyres will be absolutely destroyed, especially with that front wing damage as well. But Harry Kane, he's having a decent race. He's not obviously having the race that he wanted, but he's currently still in there, still just outside the top 5. So he's trying to cause as less damage as he can for the remaining of this race. Obviously, guys pretty much all behind him are all on penalties now, so you've got to try and keep the penalty clean as well, just to try and help out in a bit, in a way. But yeah, let's see if they keep it that way. Laser, 6 seconds. That's 6 seconds of penalties now.
Yes, so Lord Danny Boy is on course for a podium. I was about to mention that the gap was 3.2 at one point. Now it's 3.9. So he is losing time towards Laser, but Laser is pushing his luck with trial limits there, trying to put that gap over 3 seconds, and now he's got to put it over 6 seconds now, with Danny Boy having no penalties towards his name. There is 4 laps left to go in this race. For those who just joined, Bear Remy's got to pit again because he's done the hard strategy to go onto the soft compound tyres later. So I think he's just going for the fastest lap. There is no really point to go on the medium compound tyres. So fastest lap for him, a consolation point for him as well. It's been a shame for Red Bull because it's out of their control. Sometimes you can't. Here comes. Who's Danny Boy? No! Oh my goodness me! Come on, Danny Boy. Had to go and do that. My heart dropped for him. My heart's dropped. Literally.
I saw a blue car. I saw a yellow flag, and I saw a blue car losing it. I was like, oh no, that's all Danny Boy. And yes, it is. That's very unfortunate. He was on a brilliant result for him. It could have been a penalty, but he's dropped down to P10. But obviously, he's got so many guys ahead of him that's on penalties. So maybe P6 for him if he doesn't make any mistakes from it.
Oh my goodness me, Lord Danny Boy, a massive shame. He was on course for a podium, but unfortunately he's dropped at the exit of turn 4, where Fernando Alonso dropped it in qualifying, crashed in practice as well, and he had a dismal race back in 2024 this season in Imola. But Pocky Valley guy, the gap is 2 seconds. Bear Remy's got some consistent pace, by the way. He's not really pulling away from Bear Remy, and it's a shame because both Red Bulls were on the wrong tyres at the wrong time, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't predict when a safety car comes out. You know there's a safety car coming out some point in the race, but you don't know how early or later on it is, and therefore you can't control it. It's a factor. It's a shame because Martin's now ahead of Harry Kane. That's not a shame. I was about to say it's a shame because both Red Bulls were looking quite strong, but unfortunately the safety car came at the wrong time for them. It makes or breaks your race really, and it's broken their race so far.
But it does give Harry Kane the chance of finishing P4. Like I said, Bear Remy's still got to stop. Martin and Laser still with 6 seconds. I don't think Harry Kane will be able to get that 6 seconds up to Laser, but you've got Marco behind him with 6 seconds. Marco behind him with 6 seconds. Martin ahead of him with 6 seconds. That's a bit hard there. He's got Klusser behind him with 3 seconds, and then Gort behind Klusser with 6 seconds. But here comes Harry Kane again, trying to get that move on Martin. But to be honest, if I was Harry Kane, I would just stay with Martin, have the DRS, as Lord Daddy-Moore now gets a 3-second penalty as well. So unfortunate there for him. But yeah, if I was Harry Kane now, with how my tyres would be and that front wing damage, I would just use Martin's DRS just to stay with him and obviously not lose as much time. But I think he might actually go for a move here. On the outside, oh, hello, Marco. Marco just comes out of nowhere and gets that move done on both of them. He's now up to P5, but like I said, Marco has got 6 seconds of penalties, but Harry Kane just needs to stay behind him and he'll be alright.
Reminds me of Spoke when he did that, when he went around the outside of 2 drivers going down into turn 2. Danny and Preb Jensen, Danny doesn't make a lot of mistakes or drive with a lot of penalties, and this was one of his biggest mistakes today. His biggest mistake, because he could have been on course for his first podium of the season. His highest finish so far has been 6th place after finishing in 6th at the Monza Grand Prix, and unfortunately he's lost his chance of a podium there too. But there's still plenty of races to go to see what he could do as well. Still got plenty of opportunities and chances to try and get back on the podium. What's up?
Bear Remy still not stopped. I can't believe that Bear Remy hasn't stopped later, because you really use those soft tyres, and now he stops, but I think it's just a bit too late. He should have stopped earlier really to use those soft compound tyres, but you know, I suppose he was hoping for a safety car. That safety car never came for him. Let's see now where he drops to. I don't think it's going to be as bad. I think he will be dropping behind Martin, so he was just trying to have to get past these guys. Well, he doesn't have to. I don't think he's got a penalty, so he could just stay behind these guys if he wanted to. Make sure he gets ahead of Klusser. Klusser's right there. I don't think he will, to be fair. No, he will not, so we're going to have to try and get past Klusser as well. He's not even... He comes just behind Gort as well, so he's dropped all the way down to P9, so he's got 2 laps to try and gain as many positions as he can.
All he's aiming for is the fastest lap, but I dare say on his in lap he should have stored up battery because he was quite low, 27%. And here comes Bear Remy with the inside on the Ferrari, now puts himself into P8, but I dare say he should have saved a bit of battery too because he's quite low. And will he get the fastest lap? For sure, because everybody else is on all the tyres, and the fastest lap so far, I don't quite sure know what it is, so let's have a look at it. 16.0 from Nordis, I dare say easily beaten considering Nordis is on the medium compound tyres and Bear Remy's on new soft as well. But Pocket Valley guy on his 3rd attempt, his 3rd race this season, is on his final lap of this race. And also got to mention Romovac, who started down in 20th place after a dismal qualifying. Will be finished on the podium since the first time since Miami. It's been a few races since Romovac has been on the podium, but what a fantastic race. I think he did the same thing as well last season, where he started down in last place and made many places he could, but I think the safety car ruined his race that day because he was on a different strategy. But the attention now goes towards Pocket Valley guy. Marco is up into P4, slowly but surely getting himself back up there, but I dare say Laser will pick up 3rd place to make it a double McLaren podium to extend their championship hopes to overtake Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship, as it will happen this weekend in Baku. Glock and Langford are swapping places for P11 and P12. Langford, Remy, Kane, Romovac, Pocket Valley guy do not have penalties, as Glock has just picked one up. Bear Remy's now ahead of Klusler. That was a very important move not to get stuck behind, because he is aiming for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. But the attention goes towards the McLaren driver, or Pocket Valley guy, who filled in for Glock after Glock was made a reserve after his injury. So here is Pocket Valley guy, his 3rd attempt, his 3rd race. The first race he got a puncher, the second race he spun, but for the 3rd time of asking, he comes across the line, and the McLaren driver can announce himself as a race winner. He's finally done it, and he finishes in 1st place around here in Imola. Romovac is in 2nd place from 20th to 2nd. Fantastic drive as Laser will finish on the podium. Our championship leader will continue to extend his gap over Harry Kane, as Marco will finish in P4 as Kane takes it away, as he does have a penalty towards the end of this race as well. So great race. Remy's up into P5, but he does not get the fast lap of the Grand Prix either.
Yeah, a bit surprising there, but you know, perhaps P4 and P5. I think Red Bull has had a strong race here today, even though they've finished P4 and P5. But they've done the maximum that they had out of their package today. Obviously, Bear Remy had to do hard, and then Harry Kane had to go onto the mediums, and then with that front wing damage as well, didn't help. So I think. Both Red Bulls, to be fair, have had a good race. It's just not great that the way their package have been, the strategy has been today. But yeah, P4, P5, that'll do for them, I think.
Pocky Valley guy finally gets a win. We know this guy has had some amazing pace. We've seen it ever since he turned up in qualifying at the Dutch GP. Unlucky at times as well in terms of contact in Monza, that puncher at the Zandvoort Grand Prix on the old intermediate tyres when he was headed towards the dry period too. But for the third time of asking, he's done it. He did take pole. He started down in P2 as Marco was the one that took pole. They made contact going into turn 2, but I dare say we'll go down to a racing incident too, because that's what happens usually down into fast corners like that with Laser on the outside as well. Laser on the podium again. He has the most podiums out of anybody this season, and he continues to add one more to his tally as well. It's a double McLaren podium, and as you can see, that Pocket Valley guy giving a thumbs up to his McLaren crew, who have worked very well this season. Both McLarens have worked well together, and Pocket Valley guy has done an amazing job. They found a fantastic lineup. They already had a good lineup with Glock and Laser, but unfortunately Glock had to drop out due to his commitments to work or injuries he's had, and therefore Pocket Valley guy took over too. And it's been a fantastic race for the man who is at his third race this season. And it's also the same with Marco as well. The Slovakian finished down in P6 after spinning on lap 1, turn 2. But I dare say it's a racing incident. It's one of them things, unfortunately. But still finishing in P6. His run of wins has come to an end, unfortunately, as Danny Boy is in P9. Langford did not get a penalty. He finishes in P11. I think one of the Red Bull drivers didn't get a penalty either. Harry Kane and Bear Remy as well. Yes, they didn't get a penalty either. Romavaj didn't get a penalty. 20th to second, and that says it all, really. What a fantastic drive from the Williams driver. His teammate was the one that caused the safety car after crashing out of the final corner, and that's when it all changed for Red Bull, unfortunately, because they were both compromised with Kane getting old tyres and Remy had to stop again for the second time. But it's still P4, P5. I thought Kane's tyres would be gone towards the end. With 20 lap old medium compound tyres, it must have been so dead towards the end. Valley guy Laser has joined the party. We're just waiting for one more, which is Romavaj. But considering Laser finished in P3, we will start with him then. So Laser, you were under massive pressure towards the end of the race because you picked yourself up a 6-second time penalty, and you had Danny Boy coming at you at Reynolds as well. So what was you expecting there towards the end?
Yeah, I thought with 3 seconds, I thought I would have been able to just edge Danny Boy out, because I think we're lapping about the same, and I was maybe a very little bit faster than him, looking at the Delta, but then he made a mistake, and it was between me and Harry. After about 6 seconds, which I don't think I should have got, because a few of them were bullshit warnings, but it's just good to get it ticked off. Like, just get the 6 seconds, so I don't have to appeal anything to the stewards. But, yeah.
I don't know if you and Valley Guy are in a party together during the races, but were you hoping that he might back off a bit because you had Bear Remy coming at you to split you up? So were you in a party together, or were you just hoping that he'd back off to give you the DRS?
Well, no, I was pushing, because obviously, I think was it Marco made a mistake in turn 1 and Valley Guy made contact that put me 9 tenths behind. I had to bar my energy to get in, and then I think he had a bit more pace anyway, so there's no point of him keeping me in a DRS, because I wouldn't have been able fast enough around this track to hold Remy off, so he did the right thing.
And you gain another podium as well. I think he's your 7th podium of the season, I think, with the same as Adams, because he's also got, I think, 7 podiums this season. And this race, it was a bit difficult for you, wasn't it, during the early stages, but you still managed to finish in P3 at the end. So what are you expecting for next race in Baku?
Well, I've not really done Baku on this game. Another podium would be nice. I always aim for podiums minimum, and then obviously the occasional win comes when you're up there, so another podium will be good, and then if everything goes my way, I can try for the win.
Baku Grand Prix coming up next week, and thank you, Laser, for that one. And Owen, you got any questions for him?
No, just Laser, very good race again from you, as always. Like I said, consistency is key in league racing, and you're definitely doing a very good job of that. So yeah, again, good luck in Baku.
Cheers, mate.
Moving on to P2, which is Rumovaj. And Rumovaj, what happened to you in qualifying? You just couldn't hook up a lap together?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I was trying to go for a pretty fast lap, but, it wasn't to be. So I just, decided to give a real challenge for myself to start from the back. No, honestly, yeah, I couldn't put a lap together.
Didn't the exact same thing happen last season? Because I remember you at the back of the...
Yes.
Yeah, it did. So I was right.
Yes. Yeah, it's just me and qualifying at Imola, it's just, we can't really coexist. Me and good qualifyings here, but race was great. So yeah.
You made up a lot of places on the first lap. You went from P20 to P10. Did you expect at all in any part of the race that podium was on?
Maybe a P5. That was sort of the aim after that qualifying. But then, safety car came out, and then I was like, okay, I'm net P5. And then I saw Harry was on mediums, which I knew wasn't really going to go to the end. And then actually Smithy told me that Remy had to go into the pits for another set of tires. So I knew I could, put up a fight against Laser and Harry. And then, Ollie got in the way a bit. But he was fighting for position, so that's why the first two guys could just, run off. But then, yeah, basically P3, and then in the end it was P2, I think.
It's been a long time since you've been on the podium. The last, I think, 4 races. Tell us what's happening in that period, because I noticed that you struggled in the last few races. I know Monza was out of your control because I think somebody made contact with you going down into turn 2. But if I remember correctly, you were just stuck at the DRS trains, the back of them, most of the time. So tell us what's happened in the last few races.
Yeah, well, I think it started in Sandford, I think, because I finished second after removing penalty in Miami.
So that makes sense.
That was all right in the end. And then in Sandford, I think, it was raining, and then I couldn't really put together a good qualifying lap in the end, so I started from B5, and then I did not pit, just like Pocket Valley guy, after the first safety car, so we got screwed by the tire wear, so I couldn't really make up that ground. And then I had a moment, I hit the wall out of the final corner. I lost a bit of my wing, so I finished P5, I think, and there I was struggling a bit. And then, in Monza I got taken out, so that was out of my control. But again, it was a bad safety car call, so both of those races were basically decided on bad safety cars.
And that first safety car today really helped you to be back in contention because it bunched up all the pack. You know that one of the Red Bulls had to pit again. Maybe the other Red Bull could have pitted again because of his tyre wear, but had to make it towards the end. He had no choice really because the one stop is the way to go, and plus the pit lane loss around here is just not worth making another pit stop. But you were right behind Laser and Hurricane as well, and you finished in P2 in the end. So yeah, fantastic job to you today, Rumovaj, and you're back on the podium for the first time since Miami after your post-race penalty, because I had a look at the results and it didn't say you finished on the podium, but I looked at the championship standings and it says you got 22 points in Miami, so I was a bit confused to see why you had that many points, even though it says on the race results you didn't finish in that position. So thank you for clearing that up. And how are you feeling for the Baku Grand Prix?
Like Laser said, we've never really done a race at Baku on this game, so I don't know. I like the track. I like these 90 degrees corners. But we'll see, just like Laser said, aim for a podium, and then if the opportunity comes, we can go for a win.
Well, thank you very much. Nice to see you back at the podium, mate, and good luck for the next few races.
Thank you, buddy.
Owen, any questions to ask to Rumovaj?
No, mate. Again, just a very good race from you, P20 to P2. Just good job, mate. We'll see you in Baku.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Well, now we move on to our race winner. So it's your first time here, Pocket Valley guys. So first of all, can you make sure your voice is shared, please, if you got it that set?
Yeah, it's shared now. Don't worry about that.
Thank you very much, mate. So, 3 attempts here in SFR in Division 1. Your first race, as you had a puncher, on the intermediates in Zandvoort. I think in the second race didn't go well for you either. I don't know if you made contact with somebody or the wrong strategy happened for you. I think it was the wrong strategy. But for the third time I asked it, you had some really good qualifying pace. I know what your potential was, but unfortunately you got held behind Danny Boy on the qualifying lap, so therefore you couldn't really get inside the 13 to take pole. But talk us through your race, mate. How do you feel?
It was a really tough race at the start because I didn't really know if I should let Laser be in the DRS or not. But I thought, well, I should just try and get out of the DRS zone. But I mean, it was a really tough one to do. And I tried to get a little gap between us, but it wasn't that much I could do about it. I didn't really think I would be able to do it in the end. Then suddenly I think he maybe done a mistake and I got that little gap. And then I just tried to get away, really.
Yeah, we saw how patient you were as well behind Oliver. You did not want to risk anything, did you? Because you knew that if you made contact with Oliver, it'll be all over because he was holding you up in the high-speed corners. And we've seen you backing out the throttle as well. But once you overtook him, I bet you were relieved because you knew that Remy behind you, even though he was keeping tabs with you, he had to pit again. So really, you had no pressure to contend with, and you could just take it towards the end of the race, take it home towards the end of the race.
Exactly. That was what I was thinking as well. If I made contact with him, pretty much the race was over. So I just had to take my patience. I used a lot of ERS at the start because I maybe thought I would get him there. I think he used a lot as well. So I just had to back off and wait for the right opportunity. And when we finally got past, I saw Remy get past as well, like 2 corners later, and just carry on from there. Luckily, I got that 1 second in the end. I just had to maintain that 1.5 to 2 seconds the whole way through and don't get penalties.
And also, you're a really good asset as well to McLaren because Laser has lost clock and he's had a few reserves next to him. But ever since you've joined, you've really helped McLaren to be up there in the Constructors' Championship. You versus Red Bull. And even though it's your third race here, are you going to be helping Laser out later on in the season if it comes to that? Or are you just focused on your own races so far?
I mean, I wasn't that part of the first 7 or 8 races, so if I get the chance to help Laser, I will definitely do it. But I think our main thing right now is to get the constructors, and then we'll see what we can do after that.
Are you two in a party with each other? Because you seem to be working well with each other. We saw that back. Where was it? I think it was the Dutch GP where you let him through or he let you through.
Yeah, he let me through at the Netherlands, yeah. I think I had a little bit more pace than him there. Maybe because it was raining, I don't know. But no, we're not in the party together. Maybe should be in the future, but right now we're not, no.
Yeah, you two have got a good lineup at McLaren. Same with Red Bull, because those Red Bull drivers always work well with each other, but unfortunately they got caught out by the strategy of the safety car call, and therefore they had to take their medium compound tyres towards the end, the old mediums, and Remy had to stop again. So you guys gained a lot of points on Red Bull too, with 1 and 3. I think Remy and Kane 4 and 5. And how are you feeling for the Baku Grand Prix next week? Sorry.
Next weekend, yeah. I don't know really. I haven't tried Baku on this game yet, but I enjoyed it the last couple of years, so maybe it's my track. I don't know yet. Time will tell.
And what was you expecting when you first joined SFR back at the Dutch GP? Were you expected to be up there, or were you just trying to see where you fit in?
I have raced a lot of these guys before, so I knew I had the pace-ish to be around them, but I mean, I didn't really know the other guys that's not the Norwegian, so I didn't really know what to expect, but I heard that Remy and Kane was always up there, so I knew I was around their pace, so I could definitely fight for podiums, so I knew that.
And congratulations for your first win of the season. You deserve it after the problems you had in Zandvoort and at the Monza Grand Prix too. So very good job today, Pocky Vadagai. You showed a very good pace, and also you kept out of the 1 second range consistently as well. The gap was like 2 seconds majority of the time. So well done today, mate. You did a good job.
Thank you very much. The third time is a lucky charm.
Yeah. And Oliver, you got any questions to Pocky Vadagai?
First of all, my name's not Oliver. Jamie.
Sorry.
And again, secondly, no, I don't. Just again, excellent job from you, Valley Guy. Your name's really difficult to say, by the way, especially when you're commentating. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the constructors battle this season between you guys and Red Bull. So yeah, just looking forward to the next couple of weeks and see how that works out.
Yeah, me too. We'll see about that. Hopefully we can get them in the end. I don't really know how many points is between us right now, but I think we're a little bit behind, so we've got some catch up to do.
Yeah, after I think it was the Dutch GP, you were 10 points behind. Then Monza, I think they both beat you, so it extends further up. But now you bring them back down. So I'm not quite sure where you are because the Constructors' Championship and Drivers' Championship have not been updated for some reason later. Well, oh, fair enough. We couldn't really read you the Constructors or Drivers' Championship out because of the race being taken by the Dutch GP 2 races ago. So sorry about that. But if you wanted to know, join us back next week. And Oliver, Owen, thank you so much for commentating with me.
Yeah, thanks again, mate. We'll be back again for Baku. Watch out for me, Jamie, next week. I won last season's Baku Grand Prix, so yeah, I'll be looking forward to it once again.
But didn't you get reports about your own teammate yesterday?
I didn't know.
Oliver said you did.
Nope.
Oh, you must have making a bit up then. But anyways, we ran it off here. That's why I said both Aston Martins don't work well with each other. That's why I said that, Owen.
I haven't put in a steward's room or anything with my teammate, so...
Oh, fair enough then. So Oliver must be making things up. But anyways, we ran off here at the Imola Grand Prix. 2 races in a row we've been to Italy, and now we move on to Baku. This weekend, and also Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be back at Baku next week as well. After a great race last season, I don't think it was Harry Kane who took the victory last season after Remy staying out there, allowing his teammate to pit. And Dragon got his first podium of the season 2 there in P3 as well, after staying out there on the old medium compound tyres. And we'll see you all there too. So join us back next week for Div 3, Div 2 and Div 1. Also enjoy the Baku Grand Prix this weekend with Red Bull versus McLaren in the Constructors' Championship, with also Ferrari being 40 points behind as well. Red Bull a lucky week so far. And we'll see if that continues to happen throughout the remainder of the next 7 races. McLaren are homing down Red Bull in the championship, also in SFR as well. We'll see you all later, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.